Hi guys, so let's jump right into the chart reviews of the week. So the first one is ECA. ECA actually had quite a good breakout. If you zoom in, you will see I think this is like a small base and then there's a small cup formation over here. So let me just remove this. Okay, so you see a small cup formation over here. Okay, then it attempted to break out here, didn't succeed. So next day it was quite a low volume pullback, and then subsequently broke out with a high volume, and after that continued going higher. So you can see that there is some clear resistance over here. Okay, there is some clear resistance over here, which I think is the stock is finding some difficulty to break. Okay, so because it hit here twice and then it came back down. So Friday's volume is quite high, slightly above the average actually. And then it closed at 430, and it's not able to break through this 450 resistance. So I think stock may go through some pullback first before attempting to break out again. Okay, so ECA generally looks quite good lah. I think likely has bottomed. BTECH, I think there's some volume coming in, but I'm not so sure whether there's any news stimulating it or not. Volume came in November here. I guess photo report maybe was a bit favorable, and then subsequently it's kind of dried down the volume, and then another volume came in January. So every time a volume comes in, you can see there's a huge green candle, and subsequently the volume dies down and there's not much movement. So that's all lah. I don't really have comment for BTECH lah. Okay, Mycron, something similar. Okay, high volume breakout over here and subsequently died down. Kind of similar to BTECH. I don't really have much comment. I don't really see the stock going anywhere lah, unless there is some news about the earnings going to be very good or something like that. Otherwise, I don't think it's going anywhere. Okay. RSAWIT, I think together with all the other plantation counters, it's down. I think someone reported a quarter report and it's not so favorable lah. Okay, so I think another one, JTSL also dropped. The volume is actually slightly above the average, so it looks like there are some sellers over here lah. Okay, the support is definitely about here, 175, and the resistance will be now here lah, 220. You need to pay attention to where the support and resistance levels are to know whether it's turning downtrend or it's just a pullback lah. Okay, SUNVIEW, this is a bit difficult to predict. I mean, TA don't apply much, I guess. It was a very strong breakout over here. I think continuous high volume, and then after that came back down. You can see currently is in downtrend lah. Okay, something like this. Okay, quite accurate here, exactly at the downtrend line. Then it came back down. Quite high volume as well, and the quarter report is coming soon. So I think that's what you need to take note of. Other than that, like I say, TA is a bit hard lah for SUNVIEW. Okay, but generally it's still in a downtrend since the pullback over here. And if you look at the whole stock entirely, it's kind of still downtrend lah, major one. Okay, next stock, PAOS. Same as BTECH, Mycron, previously had no volume at all compared to the current one, and then I think maybe photo report or some news pushed it up here. Okay, but there were equal amount of sellers over here as well. So since then the stock has been consolidating. If you look at the volume, there's nothing much to look at lah. Okay, it's kind of just flat like that. So I don't really have comments for PAOS. Next is CEB. So CEB, I can see it's breaking out from the downtrend. Generally, CEB is it's a tech stock lah, and tech stocks are quite in play now. Okay, so CEB, if you look at the trend line, I think this should be the valid trend line now. It has been able to break out from the downtrend line. Okay, and this breakout looks quite solid lah. Okay, but I usually prefer breakouts where they form a base before they go higher. This is just how I see things lah. Okay, so I think the base is quite solid over here, but since breakout there hasn't been a pullback yet. Maybe it will rally a bit more before finally pulling back lah. Okay, next, JAG. I don't really have much to comment on JAG. It's hard to really follow TA when you have a stock which has this kind of like, now multiple days where it's empty and all of a sudden a volume comes. Unless there is some story or news behind it, I don't really know how TA work here lah. Okay, but if we if we put that aside, generally it's still sideways lah, and the trend of the stock has always been sideways. Okay, nothing much has changed. Mnhldg is climbing higher and higher, but just take note that the volume is not following suit lah. Okay, volume has dried down quite a lot compared to previous days. You can actually look at it here. Okay, the volume looks more like here when it's actually downtrend and it is basing the basing days. Subsequently here it's low volume, but it's still climbing higher, so there is some kind of deviation over here. You need to be a bit more cautious over here lah. Okay, for Mnhldg. Yeah, I think the support will be somewhere here lah, 6.4, and the resistance should be here. Okay, 6.75. Inari, another tech stock, tech giant lah actually. More related to Broadcom and also 5G. Generally, the moving averages are intact. They are in a trend, so you can see it moving higher. Then this base, I mean, it does look like a base lah, but I don't favor bases which are so erratic, in the sense that there is a huge price action movement. So you see, like from here 3.1 to 3.2 in one day, that's actually quite big lah. If you want to form a base, small ones are actually more appropriate lah. Okay, so Inari, I don't really like the base, but yes, it is uptrending. I don't think there is much resistance here, because this resistance over here is from like March 2022 and it's really broken out. I see more resistance. No, I don't really see a resistance. I think there's almost equilibrium amount of sellers and buyers over here lah, looking at the wicks. Okay, some days they push back up, some days they push back down. Okay, so I think you will need to wait for it to pan out. But in terms of this pattern, it has actually broken out lah over here. Okay, at about 3.29 level. Okay, DSONIC. DSONIC has a very high volume over here, then subsequently followed by some pullback. Okay, generally the stock is still in a sideways trend. If you look at it in this manner, it's actually still in sideways lah. Nothing much to see, in my opinion. I think you just need to wait and see how things pan out for DSONIC. Okay, Jetson is uptrending again. Okay, so Jetson, I think they pushed it up here, then brought it down, did something like a nice base. Okay, hit the resistance over here and then came tumbling down, so form a support over here. So this is quite a nice base. Okay, you see there's only one day where there's high volume over here. Okay, other than that it's all very low volume, and then subsequently there's a high volume here. This one is an indicating like something to tell you that there's some volume coming in already lah. There may be some movement soon, and true enough, the movement came soon after lah. Okay, so since then this one came back down to retest the previous base high, and subsequently it has continued rallying higher. Currently this is your support. I don't like this base, like I mentioned just now. I prefer bases like these. These are flat base, very strong. Then this is another base whereby it broke out here. Okay, you can see the resistance is over here, and it came back to retest this level 285 and subsequently continue climbing higher. Okay, I think the resistance will definitely be at 435 and the support will definitely be at 285 lah. Okay, quite far actually. So the risk to reward ratio to me is not very favorable. Okay, CMSB, I think it's sideways. Okay, there's really nothing much to look at for CMSB. Even the moving averages are not really showing uptrend anymore. So you see this entire thing, it is kind of just flat lah. Okay, Ranhill will rally together with YTL and YTL Power, because as you know, they are all YTL has bought a huge stake in Ranhill. But currently it's sideways over here lah. Okay, it may be poised to break out looking at the volume that came in on Friday. By the moment it's still sideways. Okay, of course you can just have a look at it lah. JCY, this is a very horrible candle, of course. Okay, appearing at the high of a rally. So it got washed down to around this level and subsequently climbed back again and started moving sideways. You can treat this 225 as the base area, okay, one of the support zones, and of course, if you are able to break out from 245, that will be the first hurdle. Then the second hurdle will be 26. Okay. Other than that, I think JCL will just continue going sideways. WCEHB, technically it is in an uptrend, but I think you need to be a bit wary that this is the first base, okay, at about 29.5 cents since 2022. Okay, From here, it has rallied up here, formed one base, came back down. So this is 50 days moving average, this is 50 days moving average. So technically, it has actually hit the 50 days moving average for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times now. So usually, if people hit the magic line about 3 times, is already a warning lah. 5 times is something, you know, it keeps coming back to support. It just gives you a rough idea lah. So you just need to be a bit cautious. Of course, I'm not saying that it's good or bad lah. Okay, it's just something that you need to be cautious and you need to be wary of lah. Okay. Currently it's sideways. Judging by this, looks a bit downtrend because it's not able to break the previous high. Okay. Okay. Next is JHM. So JHM is still in a downtrend. It's quite obvious. Okay, it's forming new lows over here, and then this is also lower highs lah along the way. Okay. So I think yeah, you will need to give some patience lah. Okay, but generally I don't think it looks good because there's already a new low. Okay. Next, EVERGRN, I think it's still sideways. Not much of trend over here. 50 days is just went back above. Oh no, wait. It is sideways lah. Okay, but the volume on Friday looks quite encouraging, and 50 days just touched the 150 and then went back up lah. Okay, so high volume over here. Candle also looks quite encouraging. Sideways still, but I think a few more weeks you may get to see the direction. Okay. Ttvhb is the same as the ECA. Generally, they are both peg counters which are performing quite well lah. Okay, both also I think found their base. Similar to ECA is one cup over here, then a higher support on the next one. Okay, so I think ECA looks Ttvhb looks good as well. Worth monitoring lah. Okay, the pullback candles are quite low in volume compared to ECA, which is slightly higher. Okay. ECONBHD construction counter, actually it looks quite good lah. Okay, it's almost re-challenging the 52-week high already, and if it does, then you will see a cup and handle or a rounding bottom over here. Okay, ECONBHD generally looks quite good. Your support will generally be about 3.6, while your resistance will be about 3.9. Okay, Epicon, very good QR. The profit jumped a lot, but I think it was already factored in lah. Okay, you look at this thing, came back down. This was the heavy washout time. Okay, and then subsequently rallied back up already, and then when the QR came out, it actually dropped with high volume. So I think it's already a priced in factor. Okay, the QR was already priced in. Just wait and see how it plays out lah. Okay, so it has already hit the 50 days moving average quite a number of times already here. Okay, Pwrwell, again, very good QR, but you look at it, it jumped up and then it gapped up, then came back down lah, but it hasn't closed the gap yet. Usually conditions like this, they will come back to close the gap first before actually attempting to rally higher. Okay, so something for you to look out for lah. Okay, next is MINOX. Generally MINOX is attempting to move higher lah. Okay, I think the base, of course the base will be about 235, and then it started climbing higher. Okay, this is one resistance. It was able to break out, but not very convincing. So you look at this candle, very high volume, but it's like 50-50, so there's no direction actually. Okay, they are not sure, and then so it's actually pulling back now, which is a good thing lah. So I believe it may pull back, you know, and then after that attempt to go higher lah, but it looks like it has found bottom. Okay, and then CORAZA, I think you need to give some time to see where CORAZA is going. I know the QR was quite good, with a high volume here, but the next day it was a shooting star candle with high volume as well, which is not something good. Okay, it closed the gap over here, just closed the gap and then got shot down back. Okay, so coming days you will need to be able to see something like a base formation like this before you can continue rallying higher lah. Okay, and lastly SUNVIEW. I'm able to do this review is because I haven't done mine yet, so I just included it in. But if let's say on days where I've already done it, then I won't include yours lah. Okay. SUNVIEW is a solar counter. I think solar counters are doing not bad. It's just that I didn't include them inside my case studies because some of them have already rallied, or there's no nice base formation lah. Okay, so for SUNVIEW, I don't really like this candle because base should be quite quiet, and then it came down and broke below the flat base that it was forming. Okay, but nevertheless it's actually moving higher. You can see over here it's forming higher lows lah. Okay, and this is the first high. It may be able to form a second high, then it clearly shows that it has overturned the downtrend lah. Okay, so this one also for me not confirmed yet, need some time. Moving averages are not in tandem with the uptrend sequence lah. Okay, so I think for SUNVIEW we need some time first to confirm it. Okay, so that will be all for the chart reviews this week. As usual, disclaimer, this entire video is for educational purpose only and should not be considered as a buy or sell call. If you require a buy or sell call, please look for your licensed reminder or financial advisor. Okay, because the entire video is just for education purpose. Okay, so that will be all for this week's chart review, and I will see you again next time. Thank you, bye bye.
If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.